Hello and welcome to a new video. And actually it isn't really new because you see I made that already, but because I think the quality was really bad because this was my second tutorial also, and you really like that because it has really much views on YouTube. And so I thought I will record that and just have a little bit better quality. So I will turn on my screencast keys and just collapse all that. And I hope I remember everything right because I didn't, or I haven't tested that before, but yeah, it should work because it wasn't something really complicated. And I added here a plane, which is going to be my emitter, and I also add in a harmonic force field, and this just acts kind of like a magnetic force field, but just in a little bit different effect. So this is going to be our emitter, so we add a new particle system, and we want to use fluid particles and also an object, because as you see here, these are spheres, and so we want to use the spheres because there's actually no function that you simply say Blender that it should render this as a sphere, so you have to add one. In this case I use an icosphere with a resolution maybe 2 or 3, so it's just a little bit smoother, and set the shading to smooth, and also add in a glossy material. Let's see, glass and glossy, and set the reflections a little bit up, but let me think, just set it a little bit down because the brightness of the slider here kind of acts like how much it reflects, because when I go into render mode now, you see now it's totally black. Yeah, of course the color, but when we go more to the white, it more and more gets like a mirror, a perfect mirror. So I will set it to about 0.5. So this icosphere, so select that one as render and object icosphere, and now we can simulate or play the animation, and you see the force field doesn't affect all that really much. This is because we have to set the strength a little bit higher, so maybe try it with 10, and you see it starts to work, but the particles disappear because the lifetime is at 50 frames. So we want to set that to at least 250 frames, but I will set that to 5,000 or so. And also I want to add that at, let's see, to 50, and then we'll make the animation at about 300 frames or so. Yeah, the number is fine for now, but for the render we will set that a little bit higher. So you see it starts to make this sphere here, and until the particles end, maybe set that to 350. So you see something at the end. And then they just bounce a little bit and get to a perfect sphere. If you want to have the position exactly where the force field is, because as you see now it's a little bit underneath, I think you have to set the resolution or the strength a little bit higher. And now resimulate that, and you see it gets closer to the empty. And you can move that and get a nice effect. So yeah, let's see. I think I want to have the particles a little bit bigger. And sorry that I skip around between all these different settings here, but it's just watching the simulation and then see how it looks and adjusting or adjust one setting and see how it looks and adjust and also on. So this is just a permanent process of skipping around. So yeah, you see it just moves a little bit crazy at the end. And I think this is because some particles collapse or collide, and we have a really high strength that pushes all that together. And because it doesn't matter in my case when it's a little bit underneath, I will set the strength to 10, and then it should avoid that weird glitching or this weird bouncing. So you see now there is no strange movement, because before the particles collided in each other, and because Blender tries to avoid that, it just moved around, but this force field just pushed that around this center point here, and yeah, it just kind of bug, but in this case we just have to set the strength a little bit lower. So some more particles maybe to get a bigger sphere. 10,000 maybe. So and this is really much, but does it work? Yeah, it's just a little bit too much for the simulation right now, and so I'll set it to 5,000 and see if this one works. And actually I think we could improve that if there is a function where you can set steps per second. But I think here's one. Yeah. So if you set that a little bit higher, it just calculates some more steps. It's slower, but it should get some more accurate results. So yeah, that's that setup. And actually, let me think. Going to the render mode and see. Yeah, I think I want to use an HDRI image. And if you want to make your own ones, you can go to my YouTube channel and you find a tutorial there where you can make your own equa rectangular images just with Blender. And let's see. which one I want to use. I think this setup maybe, because there are some strong lights. Yeah, I will use that one. And you see we got really nice reflections in here. And now we can try to set the reflection material. So make it brighter. So it's a perfect mirror, a little bit darker. Maybe give it a color if you wanted to. Just test that a little bit. And actually, I think the blue looks really nice. So I will add that just a little bit. So 6, 8 maybe. Maybe 7. Yeah. And let's see. Just a little bit darker. But yeah, you can make whatever material you want. You want to have. You can use car material, for example. But I think that also looks quite fine. So recenter the camera and let's see, play a little bit around with that. So just try and test the things, because I don't have any default setup for the camera. I just play around, and when it's the settings that look the best I will use. So in this case I think at about 25 should look good, and I press Shift F, and now I press V to have the fly navigation, and play that so they move in the final position. And right now I think the material is a little bit too dark, so make it a little bit brighter, and just a little bit. So, and I think I want to find a little bit better angle, or camera angle, yeah, because you saw that the lights are really strong from this side here, and I just want to avoid that a little bit. I will turn on lock camera to view, because I now have the dark side, because that one looks a little bit better. And let's see. Yeah, something like that. So, go back to this one layer, and you should turn on the check mark and the render or uncheck render emitter, because when you make an animation and the camera looks up here, you would see the emitter, but when you turn that off, the emitter, in this case this plane, isn't rendered. So yeah, you can add an extra empty for the depth we will use for the compositing, but I will use the force field we had for the focal point. But actually I think that would be or that wouldn't be so intelligent, so I will add an extra empty and a sphere, because I want to have the focal point more here on this side of the sphere, not so much in the middle, so the compositing is a little bit easier. So go to the camera, set the focus to empty, and you shouldn't see a difference. If you wanted to, you can also try some depth of field. Let's see, I think, yeah, so set that down and readjust the empty, because right now it's let's see, so adjust the empty, so this here in the front is in the focal point, so somewhere like here, and then I will set that to 0.5 or so, just to get a little bit of that. So now we can render that, but first we have to check the render layer, and there is the set paths enabled, and I think I also want to turn on environment, because maybe we need that. So I will render that, and in this part, or in this remake of this tutorial, I don't want to cover the camera animation, because it's really simple. You can just move it around, set a keyframe with I, or this automatic keyframe insertion, and you just position it how you want to have it. So in this case, it's just how to make the particle setup and the render. Now I press Shift F3 to go into the compositor, a nice shortcut, and now press Control Shift and left click, and we have our viewer node. Right now the image looks a little bit cold, but I like this kind of style, and this is because we added in that little blue in the material. So now I want to add in a mix node and actually view the set path with an vector normalize, and you see this set path, and we can use that to add in some textures, or some not textures, some colors, and I will set that down to a lower value. So I add in a color ramp and set the white to black, or actually the black to white. Let me think really quick. Oh, I just view the set path, so we have to plug in the image here, and you see now it works. And you see, that one we have to, or we should set white to more of a black color, and now we got that little mist effect in here. And I think I want to use, let's see, maybe cold color, and in this case the complementary color on the wheel looks good, I think. Yeah, so maybe try these blending modes. Sometimes you get something that looks better. So screen, no, I think we'll leave it at add. And also color balance, and just play around with these settings. I have absolute no idea which setting does what, but when the result looks good, it's fine. So let's see which one affects what. So I want to get a little bit more blue in the whole image. And press M to mute that. And when it looks better than before, you can leave it. And if not, you should try to change the settings. So I don't want to have so much. So really subtle effect, but I think it helps a little bit. And this is now the final image. I'm not sure if I should leave this mist effect or this kind of dust or whatever that is, but I think it looks just a little bit better with that. Yeah, we'll leave it for now. And you can also add some own crazy compositing nodes and whatever you want. And also camera animation, so shouldn't be too different for you or too difficult for you. And yeah, I hope you like that. And the quality is better, better than the video I made half a year or a year ago. So if you wanted to, you can compare that to the old video, but I do not recommend that because now you have the new version, and I hope it's much better than the old one. So that's it, and I hope you like this video and maybe give me a thumb up. And to see more videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope I see you in my next video. And yeah, bye.